Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Brandon with BiggerPockets.com, and today I wanted to talk to you real quick about why I love rental properties. So, I do a little bit of rentals, a little bit of flipping, a little bit of wholesaling, but rental properties particularly have like this special place in my heart. I love them. I love them so much I actually wrote a book on it, the book on rental property investing. Pick it up wherever books are sold. And anyway, so I really like them. I like them for a number of reasons, and I'm going to go over 12 different reasons why. In fact, I'm kind of stealing this directly from the book. I actually wrote in there, why do I love rental properties so much? So I'm going to go through all 12. Is that cool? All right, I'm going to go just launch right into this. Number one, the ability to purchase with leverage. So with a lot of investments out there, like stocks or whatever, typically, if you want to buy $1,000 worth of Google stock, you got to have $1,000. With real estate, though, if I want to buy a $100,000 property, I don't need $100,000. I can use leverage, meaning I can use a bank to do it. And yes, I know there's like margin and stuff you can do with real estate, with stocks, but for the most part, most people don't. It's not very common. And what's common is in real estate, though, is to put a down payment down and buy property. Now, the beauty of that is also the downside of it. Meaning, if I put down 10 grand and I buy a $100,000 property, we'll say, or whatever, 20 grand down and buy a $100,000 property. If that property goes up to $120,000 in value from 100 to 120, my $20,000 just doubled basically, which is awesome. That's leverage. Now, the same thing applies though. If that $100,000 drops, well, then I'm screwed. However, the good thing is, did it say turn up volume? Do you guys hear me okay? Am I loud enough? There's no real way for me to turn up volume, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, then there's a problem. I don't know. I'm going to keep going because, I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. Yes, that means you can hear me? Okay, good. All right, here we go. So anyway, I love rental properties because of the ability to purchase with leverage. You do have to be careful with that. Not everyone does it. Some people buy all cash, and that's fine. But I love the leverage. All right, number two, the ability to hustle for greater returns. I love this one. So with most investments out there, like it is what it is, right? Like if I go and take $100,000 and buy Google stock, like I can't really do much to affect that, right? To change that. Instead, I love the fact that I can hustle for greater returns, meaning I don't have to just be like, you know what, I'm okay with a 10% return. If I wanted a 20% return, I can go do that. If I wanted a 50% return or a 100% return, I can replace the cash needed with hustle, which gives me a higher return. In fact, so high that most properties I buy, I've hardly put any money into them. And so my return is absurd. In fact, on most of my properties, I put no money into it, which means my return on investment is infinite. It's pretty awesome. All right, so moving on to number three. Before I get there, real quick, you guys, there's a comment section on here. You can type comments to me. I'm reading them. Like Daniel said, I grew up in Longview, Washington, close to your area. Daniel, you're awesome. Do me a favor real quick. If you want to type something to me, go ahead and type something to me. But more importantly, two quick things. Click the thumbs up button. Whenever you hear something that you like, you can click it over and over and over. Anything you agree with, click that thumbs up button. Secondly, if you think this is valuable information, you want your family and friends to know about it, go on to your Facebook, which you're probably on right now, and just click the share button. You can actually share this, and then let me know that you shared it. There's also a little heart thing. You can heart that too. Chris from Miami, what's up, buddy? All right, moving on to number three. The ability to manage my investments directly. So now, let me back up from that one. I don't necessarily mean like I'm going to go manage all my own properties. Even though I do manage most of my properties, you don't have to manage all your own properties. But you still manage your investment. Does that make sense? Now, again, I'm going to use this example of like stocks a lot, even though there's a lot of investments out there. But if I wanted to go put $100,000 into stocks, like there's not a lot I can do to change how that stock does, other than sell it, right? And so instead, with real estate, if I wanted to make the property better, I can go make it better. I can directly affect the changes. I can approve tenants or deny them. I can hire a better manager. I can fire people, hire people. I'm directly in charge of it. Now, some people would look at that as a disadvantage, but that's how I get great returns. That's how I found financial freedom through real estate, was by being able to directly control my investment. So that was number three. Number four, people always need a place to live. I mean, you could go and be like a venture capitalist and go invest in some startup company, but most businesses fail. It happens all the time. But with real estate, I don't worry about real estate failing. Like, yes, it could go down and it will go down, and that's okay. I'll just buy more. But I love the fact that no matter what happens, people always need a place to live. All right, moving on. Number 5. Before I read number 5, I don't want to forget this, and I do want to say this. This week, I'm hosting a live webinar on BiggerPockets, a live online class. We're going to talk for an hour, maybe even a little bit longer, about real estate investing. In fact, this week we're talking about how to get started. I'm going to go through a 7-step process for getting started with real estate. So if you want to show up to that, I would love to have you. Just go to BiggerPockets.com/webinar, BiggerPockets.com/webinar, and that would be awesome. All right, moving on. No, number 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, real estate has worked for millions of people. Like, I love that. Like, real estate's worked. Like, it's not like I've got this crazy new idea. Like, we've all done, like, millions and millions of people have done what I'm doing right now. I'm not talking about thousands or hundreds. Millions of people have done what I'm doing. And they've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. They've been buying rental properties and renting them out. And so, like, I get to look at these examples of tons of people that have come before. I love this comment. Dustin said, that moment when you're listening to Brandon speak on the video and doing an analysis in another window, and Facebook find the need to keep pausing Brandon. That's funny. Keep pausing me. It's okay. I don't mind. All right. And keep analyzing those deals. That's good. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. We're going to do some Q&A in a little bit, by the way, if you guys are Q&A in it. Number 6. Real estate is fairly stable and predictable. I love that about real estate. And yes, again, I know there's declines and there's things that go up and down, but overall, real estate has been fairly predictable. I can buy a property now and know that it's probably going to do this over the next few years because over the last 100 years, it's been doing this. Yes, there's ups and downs, but on average, real estate has been fairly predictable. So, all right, whatever number, man, it's hard to keep track of these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. The variety. I love the variety. You know, when I first got started, I bought a single family house. Then I bought a duplex. Then later on, I bought a triplex. Later on, I bought a 5-plex and then a 4-plex, a 24 unit. Then I bought, I'm looking now for a mobile home park. Like, it's like there's so much variety in all you do, like in real estate. I mean, maybe you want to buy commercial rental property. Maybe you want to buy, single-family houses. You want to buy duplexes. You want to buy nice properties. You want to buy junky ones. You want to buy fixer-uppers. Whatever. There's so many different things to look for and that are out there. And so, you know, there's variety, so it suits everybody's needs. It suits what you're good at. Like, I'm not great at certain things, and so I buy things based on my strengths, not on my weaknesses. Does that make sense? So the variety is fantastic. All right, next one. Simple and straightforward. Real estate does not take a master's degree to understand. You don't have to go to college, period, to get into real estate investing. You just do it. You just go out and buy a rental property. Like, it's not that complicated. I'm not saying it's like super easy. You should read a book or two about real estate before you get into it, but it doesn't take a master's degree. I'm not a very smart guy, and I figured it out, right? So you can figure it out as well. All right, moving on. I can buy below market value. So this is maybe my favorite thing on the list. I don't know. I love the fact that I can go find a property and buy it cheaper than what it's actually worth. Try doing that in most marketplaces, like stocks or bonds or anything like that. It's really hard to do, to buy drastically below value. I'll give you an example. So I bought a 5-unit property a few years back. The property was listed at I think they started at 150, they dropped the price to 130. I offered them 90 and they took it. So I got this 5-unit property for $90,000. I put maybe $7 or $8 grand into it. I painted the outside and painted a little bit of the inside. And now I've got roughly, with closing costs and stuff, I got like $100,000 into it. But it's not worth 100. It's not even worth 130. It's worth like 200 because I bought it so low and that the value now is much, much higher. And so I love the fact that I can buy it way below market value and then make things happen to make it go up. All right. Next one, this is kind of fun. Insider trading is legal. So Remember Martha Stewart? So she got caught for insider trading with stocks and she got sent to jail, right? I insider trade all the time. What do we mean by that? It means that I look for information that nobody else knows so I can make good decisions. For example, I might find out that, hey, I heard that this one business is coming into town. There's a Walmart coming into town or whatever. So I get the ability to, go and buy in that area. Or, hey, I heard that the light rail is moving in here. Come here, guys. Come here. Come here, Charlie. My dogs are in here. If you hear them barking, don't worry about it. Hey, you guys want to meet my little girl? You guys want to meet Rosie? Come here. Come here, Rosie Lou. Hi, who is that? This is Rosie. She is my little girl. She is awesome. She is the entire reason why I invest in rental properties. In fact, she actually owns a rental property herself. She actually owns a 4-unit property. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. That's going to pay for her college someday. In fact, we bought it, and that's one of the things I love about real estate and rental properties. Yeah, who's that girl in that? Who is that? She's looking at herself. Anyway, we bought this property the week she was born, and we're going to pay it off over the next 15 years. And so after 15 years, not only do I get $1,000 per month for the next 15 years, like in cash flow, that's just money in my pocket. After 15 years, it's paid off worth $250,000, which will fund her college. Ain't that cool? Got you. All right. So, back to what we're talking about. All right. Insider trading, again, I love the fact that you can, by the way, you guys like Rosie? Is she cute? Give me a thumbs up, a like, or a heart if you like her. Like how shameless that is. Now you're all going to feel stupid and be like, well, I have to click it now because of course she's cute. All right. Next one. Multiple ways to profit. I love that in real estate, like it's not just with rental properties, it's not just one way of profiting. Let me give you an example. In fact, there's 4 ways primarily you make money in real estate, in rental properties. Number 1, there's cash flow. Like I said, with my daughter, that 4-plex we bought for her, right? Like every month, we'll be getting about $1,000 a month in cash flow. We just got the 4th unit rented out. It's all rehabbed. It's so exciting. We're going to get $1,000 a month in cash flow every single month for years. And that's going to go up as rents go up. I love that. It's going to be in a fixed rate mortgage and rents go up. So that's cool. Secondly, appreciation. Today, that property is probably worth $200,000. In 15 years, it'll probably be worth like $300,000, right? Because prices go up. Maybe it'll be worth $400,000. Over time, prices go up, and I love that. So cash flow appreciation, the loan pay down. This is fantastic, right? So I bought the property. I'm going to put it on a 15-year mortgage, which means it's not my money, it's the bank's money. The tenant will be paying down that loan every month for the next 15 years. I'm not paying it down. So the loan itself is being paid down, which means my equity is going up every month without me doing anything. That's the 3rd way, is the loan pay down. And 4th is the tax benefit. So I actually get to deduct a loss on my taxes every single year, probably for the next 15 years. That deducts, now again, I'm not a CPA, I'm not giving you tax advice here, just understand that. But I'm just saying, because of this thing called depreciation, I will depreciate that property. Now maybe because that one cash flow is so good, maybe I'll actually have to pay some taxes on it. But I won't pay what other people do. If I made $100,000 a year in cash flow on all my properties, I get to keep way more than that guy who works a job making $100,000 a year. So again, I love that. So yeah, that's the 4 ways, the 4 wealth generators of real estate: cash flow appreciation, the loan pay down, and the tax benefits. And then leverage kind of takes all 4 of those and shoots up your return. Pretty great. All right, next one. Not having to be present to make money. Look, there's a lot of businesses in the world that work, right? You could go out and buy like a Little Caesars pizza franchise, right? I love Little Caesars pizza, even though it's probably not healthy for me at all. But I could go out and buy a franchise. But here's the deal, like most franchises you buy, like you have to be there working in the business all the time. If I wanted to go open a bakery, I'd have to go work in that business all the time. Real estate's great because it's kind of a, I don't want to say set it and forget it, but it's like a set it, build systems, let your systems manage it. And so you don't have to be local. In fact, I could buy anywhere in the country if I wanted to, as long as I'm good at managing those systems. I don't have to be present to make money. In fact, just now, I got home like 3 or 4 days ago from a 2-week vacation. I was actually had a 10-day cruise. So we left the country, had no internet for 10 days. I came back and I had like $50,000 more in my checking account from all the rents that came in. I didn't go to their house and knock on their door. That money just came in. Now, of course, most of that's going out to expenses during the month, but all the rent came in while it was gone, and because I have systems set up for that, and that's why one thing I love about it. All right, next one. Oh, is that it? Is that my 12? Let me go over. The ability to purchase with leverage, the ability to hustle for greater returns, the ability to manage my investments directly. People always need a place to live. It's worked for millions of people before me. It's stable and predictable, fairly stable and predictable. Incredible variety, simple and straightforward. I can buy below market value. Insider trading is legal. Multiple ways to profit and not having to be present to make money. Those are the reasons why I love rental properties. And there's a lot more than that too. I mean, I love the fact that I get to be at home with my daughter. I get to watch her today, or was it yesterday? Yesterday, she said puppy. It was like the greatest moment of my life. I was like, say puppy, and she's like, puppy. And like, it just blew my mind. And like, I get to be there for that because I didn't have to be at some stuffy office working in a cubicle all day, because rental properties have given me enough cash flow that I don't have to go work in a cubicle at some stuffy office building downtown. I don't have a 2-hour commute every day where I don't get to see my family. I get to hang out with my family all the time. I'm home all the time. I get to volunteer at my church because I'm around, right? So that the financial freedom like that real estate can give you, rental properties can give you some amazing benefits in life. And I love that stuff. So, all right, that's all I got for you guys for the 12 reasons. Do you guys want to do some quick Q&A? I saw some questions come in earlier, but I can't really get back to them. So if you have a question, anything at all, go ahead and ask it in the chat area, and I'll try to get it. By the way, Andre said, shout out from Iraq. What's up, Andre from Iraq? That's crazy. That's a long ways from here. Anthony said, Brandon, what's the most effective use of a VA loan? Personally, if I had the ability to do a VA loan, which is 0% down, I would find a fixer-upper house or I don't know if VA still can do duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. I think they can. In which case, if I had a VA loan, I would probably go out and find a fixer-upper fourplex, and I would fix up the units, get the cash flow, and then someday move out, but keep that. Oh, Anthony said up to a fourplex. Great. So like I would do that. I think that's a pretty fantastic use of it. I think it's pretty cool. All right, what other questions you guys got? I saw somebody asked earlier that said they have a duplex or having trouble getting rented. Any advice? Yeah, I mean, there's two things that's going on. If you have trouble getting your property rented, there's two issues. You're too expensive or you've not marketed it good enough. When we have a property for rent, we go all out. Like we go out and hustle to get that thing rented. That means we post on Zillow, we post on Hot Pads, we post on Craigslist, we put an ad in the newspaper, we put signs in the yard, we put signs in the window, we put signs down the street. We put it on our Facebook page. We put it on personal pages. We ask our friends to share it if we're really having trouble. We go all out in marketing. Our vacancy rate is like 2%. And that's even being generous. Like we typically will have a vacancy for like a day. Like it's like the 31st they move out, and it's like we clean it for a day or two, and we have new renters to go in on the 3rd or 4th. Typically we don't have anything sit for over a week because we hustle that. Second part of that though is if it's too expensive, you're gonna have a hard time getting it rented. So you've got to be realistic on how much you're getting. You can always drop your price, but I would drop your price only if you've already maxed out your marketing. All right, next one. If you had $100,000 in private money, a general contractor partner, and you lived in an expensive area, what would you do? Ooh, that's a good question. All right, if I had $100,000 in private money, so somebody wanted to lend me $100,000, I had a partner who could do general contractor work, and I lived in an expensive area, what would I do? I'd probably flip houses, honestly, or I would do the BRRRR strategy. So $100,000 would give you like enough to be able to at least get started on a big expensive flip. Just do your numbers carefully. I might do that because you got the GC partner, which would be helpful in that venture. Use the private money as much as you can to cover repairs maybe, and have a hard money lender cover the cost of the purchase. Just be sure you run your numbers carefully. That's probably what I would do. Or the BRRRR, where you buy it, rehab it, like you basically flip it, then you rent it out and refinance it to get the private money's guys his money back. Now you have like a 30-year fixed mortgage on this property, and you go do it again and again. I might do that as well. But flipping tends to work better in expensive markets, where rentals tend to work better in cheaper markets, but that's not always true. All right, next question. Whoa, I just almost blocked somebody. That was on accident. Chris said, how do you feel about Dodd-Frank being revisited? Oops, I almost blocked somebody again. And how do you know and do you know what that means for investors? Yeah, so they're talking about Dodd-Frank maybe being relaxed and stuff. So Dodd-Frank came in, and the biggest impact it made on real estate investors, in my opinion, at least at our level, like local, like smaller investors, was seller financing. It made seller financing kind of weird, and honestly, I don't think it made a massive impact. If they relax it, we may have a little bit easier time getting loans. getting a bank to approve our loans. That might be one result. I'm not an economist here, so I'm kind of just making this up. But from what I know, we get a little bit easier chance of getting loans, and people who do a lot of seller financing will find it a lot easier, a lot less red tape and things like that. Michael said, I plan on doing Burr out of state. That's a great idea too. Yeah, Burr out of state, as long as you have somebody you trust to manage that rehab out of state, because that is the tough part. I got a buddy who's rehabbing a property, lives in Idaho, rehabbing it in Seattle, and he's struggling with contractors and stuff. Santiago said, why doesn't Josh ever show his face? Is he ugly? Yes, Josh is very ugly. In fact, Josh actually got voted sexiest man alive on People magazine. Okay, that wasn't Josh, that was Adam Levine. But Josh and Adam Levine are like twins. They could be brothers from the same mother. Josh, I don't know, he should do more Facebook Live videos. He did one a few weeks ago. I'll bug him. Diego Corzo, what's up, buddy? We got to get you on the Pockets Podcast. I did not forget about you. If anybody else, if you guys have an awesome story, go to biggerpockets.com/guest, G-U-E-S-T, and come on the Pockets Podcast. Come apply there. All right. Daniel said, I'm looking at buying a duplex in Texas while living in Oregon. Do landlords pay tax where they live or where the property is? Good question. So, I'm not a CPA, so I'm not giving you legal or tax advice here, but you're going to pay income tax and on the property, like where you live, I believe, and you're going to pay property tax in the city or the county, state that you buy the property in. So, anyway, yeah, biggerpockets.com/guest. Oh, real quick, you guys, if you guys are not following us on Facebook, if you're watching this video and you're like, hey, I actually don't follow Bigger Pockets on Facebook, you should do that. And there's even like a little click option that says you can see Bigger Pockets stuff first, because Facebook likes to hide our stuff because we're a business and they want us to pay for everything we do, and so that's their prerogative, but whatever. But the way around that, if you actually want to see our stuff, there's a little option that says see first. It's like a little drop down menu when you follow Bigger Pockets, so do that. Maurice said, hi Brandon, what is the absolute best strategies to finding true buyers and investors? Depends. I mean, are you talking like finding cash buyers? I mean, they're easy. Cash buyers are everywhere. If you have a deal. So I wouldn't even worry about finding investors and cash buyers if that's what you're talking about. Focus on finding a deal. And then, yeah, if you want cash buyers, just go to a real estate club. You'll find 100 of them. Go on Bigger Pockets in the marketplace. You'll find 1 million of them. Go to any experienced real estate investor in your county and you'll find them there. They're all over the place. If you're looking for investors like private lenders, networking. The more people you know, the more chance you get at private lending. If you're trying to look for sellers, I mean, there's direct mail marketing, there's driving for dollars, there's the MLS, there's things like HUD. There's a lot of ways to find deals like that. So yeah, there's that. All right. I'm going to get out of here in a minute because it is Valentine's Day and I got a hot date with my wife to go check out one of our rental properties. So we're actually going to go check out one property. We bought a house at auction like 9 months ago and we've been rehabbing it for like 9 months. It's kind of been like the side project when my contractors have nothing else to do. They go work on that one. Anyway, it's done, and we're going to turn it into an Airbnb rental, vacation rental, so that'll be kind of fun. And should be a lot of fun for that. So I'm going to go on my hot Valentine's date with my lady friend. I'm going to go do that. And I will see you guys next time I do a Facebook Live video. I know there's a lot of questions I didn't get to. If you are not active in the Bigger Pockets forums, I want to encourage you to do that. The Bigger Pockets forums are absolutely incredible. It's where I learned almost everything that I know today. And there are people so much smarter and more successful and far better looking than I could ever hope to be hanging out there for free all the time. You can go and ask your questions there as well. So don't forget about the Bigger Pockets forums, biggerpockets.com/forums. All right, last time I'm going to say this. 3 big things. Number 1, if you like this video, do me a favor and give me the thumbs up and share this on your Facebook page. Number 2, if you like learning from me, I hope you come to one of my live webinars every single week on Bigger Pockets. I've been doing them for 2 years. I only missed once, and that was last week because I was on a cruise. And biggerpockets.com/webinar, you can sign up for that. And lastly, you guys rock. I'll see you guys around. Take care.